Why are they committed to misunderstanding you? Because it's easier, right? It's always been easier. You are the fly in the ointment of their reality. Have you ever felt lost in translation? Like, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, people are just misunderstanding you. You might have even said throughout your life, like, why does nobody understand me? And I don't mean in like a victim-y way, like nobody understands me. And I don't even mean it in like an emo way where it's like on a more depressive state, like literally nobody understands me and like I feel alone in this world. I'm not talking about it really in either way. I'm talking about it more in like, it's actually confounding to you who I'm speaking to today, that you could literally produce a 10-point presentation with pictures, graphs, evidence, proof. You could be a lawyer. You could prove your case. You could have 10 people behind you saying, yes, this is what Melissa Gordon is saying, and it's true because of this, and we have a doctor on staff that said this, and we know somebody in the court system that also knows her and agrees. And it's like, just as an example, and I'm using myself as an example because I'm speaking of it through my lens, knowing that I am also in the audience as I'm saying this. All right. We're going to get a couple cards here to aid with the message, but I just wanted to open because I know that you know what I'm talking about. Why don't people understand us? Well, my first point today is just a thought, right? Three of Swords, absolutely. It's just a thought. I know people always look at the Three of Swords as like a heartbreak in the emotional space, which it is. It's a heart with three swords in it, swords through our heart. But this is what I always find interesting about the Three of Swords. It's swords. So even if we have healed from something, right? Let's stay on this for a minute. Yeah, Emperor. You could be like rich. You could have a successful business. You could even be like known. Like people know you down at the local Dunkin' Donuts. Like when you walk in, they're like, oh, that's so-and-so that lives like up on the hill with the big house. It's like, oh, whatever. You don't have to have money. But usually the Emperor does have money, right? It's like people could be whispering about you, Six of Cups. Like they know who you are. You know what I'm saying here? All right. But with the Three of Swords, this is my point. This is point number one. People may purposely be insistent upon misunderstanding you. And that's why, personally for me, the Three of Swords is one of the most challenging cards in the deck because we could have already gone through a healing with the Star on a spiritual level. We could have healed from maybe more of our juvenile with the Six of Cups thought patterns. Like maybe when we were younger, we were like more emo. Maybe we let our anger get the best of us. You know, we all express things in different ways. Maybe some of us were, Three of Swords for me is literal. Like I struggled with self-harm for many, many years. And, trigger warning, apologies for that. Three of Swords, this is my point. Three of Swords is an intellectual energy that even if we heal from something, even if we mature past being like an emo kid, right? Even if we mature past that level of like, nobody understands me from our youth, right? With the Six of Cups, we have the Fool here. Maybe you went off, you did something new with your life, you reinvented yourself, you became a new version of yourself, you became successful, you became this Emperor, male, female, non-binary, however you identify. You did all these things, you became this stand-up individual that it's plain to see. It is easy to understand who you are. Anybody looks at you and sees you as this. This is you. So why is it lost in translation? What's so confounding? What's so confusing that has people scratching their heads? What do we do when people purposely, intentionally, excuse my stomach, see, it's getting weird because it's getting personal for me now. Not that the whole thing hasn't been personal, but it is. And it's personal. It's 1:11 p.m. right now. Personal in the past 3 days, speaking of the Three of Swords, that I have been receiving all of these texts because people from all over the place suddenly have come upon my Metamystic channel. And in a way, I'm going to get back to my Three of Swords thing. All of this has a point, guys. I'm not just like rambling and not getting on the cards. Oh, she's getting in a Mercury mind. No, I have like everything in the back of my mind as I'm talking, just so you know. People that I've known, family members on both sides, not going to name names, have sent me long, concerned texts about me reading tarot, and they have psychoanalyzed my past podcast episodes where I talked about deconverting from Christianity and leaving my ministry that I built from the ground up. I was a Christian minister. Understandable that people from our past Six of Cups would be concerned, right? When we make these big life-altering changes. Beautiful. We have the Death card to prove my point even further. It's like for those who I'm speaking to, you have gone through transformations in your life to the point where people from your past, Six of Cups, people you grew up with, family members, people that maybe even like in the past were very close friends to you, soulmates, lovers, like people that were like you thought were ride or die. And this is really the crux of my message here. But for some reason, when you, Ace of Pentacles, with the Fool, went after some sort of new opportunity for yourself that was different than what they were used to, it's almost as if Three of Swords, they are... What is the word? They are it's not intent. It's a phrase. Sorry, guys. They are committed to misunderstanding you. And that's because it's a deeper issue, speaking of the Six of Cups, than them just not understanding your transformation. Death card to the Emperor. It's like, just take it practically. Say you started a business and you became successful. And it's like, maybe they knew you, Six of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, back when, or better yet, Two of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Two of Pentacles. Maybe they knew you back when you didn't have two pennies to rub together. And now, Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, maybe you have money. I'm an earth sign, so I'm just using money as an example, right? Doesn't have to be money. You're this emperor. No explanation needed to me as a reader, right? So why is it that these people are so committed to misunderstanding the obvious? That's my question. So back to my Three of Swords message that I had in the back of the brain as I was saying all that stuff. Three of Swords. Why it's one of the hardest cards for me in the deck is because it's an intellectual wounding that began in the heart to begin with. And, you know, we all read differently as readers, right? But that's how it comes through for me. And it could be something that has already been healed. And this is why it gets tricky, because Six of Cups, Three of Swords, we've matured, right, guys? We've been through a lot of crap in our lives. We've evolved through things. Interesting that we do have the Ten of Pentacles here. Let's just put that with the Emperor. Because whether it's money for you, whether it's intellectual properties, it's more that for me, and the money will come later, right? I'm working on it, guys. with the Ten of Pentacles and the Emperor, this is power. This is like you are in a power position. It's clear to see who you are. Like the way that you carry yourself is Ten of Pentacles. The way that you carry yourself is Emperor, male, female, non-binary, however you identify, because you have transformed as a person. And for many of us, we have transformed again and again and again. And with the Fool, it's like when we saw that Ace of Pentacles opportunity, we went for it. And usually when we go for a new opportunity, it does change us. It does alter us, whether it's you moving somewhere else, whether it's you getting a new job somewhere, or up leveling in some way, or working on your body, like even just simply cutting your hair. Like I look very different with short hair. I used to have very long hair. Just saying, as one example, I know that's kind of dumb, but it's crazy how weird people can get. And with this Three of Swords, this is the thing. It's an intellectual wound that began in the heart. So even if we healed this in our heart, and you're saying to me right now, Missy, well, I don't really care if people misunderstand me. I'm still an Emperor. I'm still just going to do my thing. I'm not saying that's not true, because I am too. I'm always going to be doing my thing no matter what people say about me, think about me, text me, long paragraphs, hyper analyzing not to call you out, but you called me out. And with all due respect, I am an Emperor. And you called me out and you said, oh, on your episode 9 of your Metaphysics show, these are all the reasons why everything that you're saying basically is not the case. It's like, on one hand, it's flattering, because that means that people from my past, my family, communities that I used to be a part of, that means that my transformation, and you have a transformation of your own. You probably have multiple. So apply this in your own brain where this applies to you. It's like, in a way, it's flattering that people are so impacted by our transformations, right? But is it impacted in a positive light? And that's why I'm here today, to dispel some of this tricky, backhanded Seven of Swords, moon, hidden, smiling in your face, but actually against you in their heart energy, right? And I love these people. They're my family. They're my friends. They're my communities that I used to be a part of. They're people that at one time, I don't even want to say at one time were for me, because to be honest with you guys, I've been in this Three of Swords since I was a child with the Six of Cups with some of these people, and now they're all coming out of the woodwork and pretending like they always supported me and always loved me and always thought I was amazing and great, and when in reality, that was not the case. It was never the case. They always were challenged by the way that I was living, whether it was them breaking me down because I didn't get my master's degree like so-and-so did, or, even more than that. I didn't go and pursue my, my old dentist, Dr. Casey. He was an Indian man. He had a very long last name, and we called him Dr. Casey, and I loved Dr. Casey, and he always said to me that I should go and get my doctorate of theology from Yale, and he was very insistent upon that. Every time I went to get my teeth cleaned, he would bring that up. And I'm not saying that, that people don't have, what an honor that somebody would see that in me and see that I have that potential, right? And so there are factors to all of this, and we're going to get a couple cards here, guys, but I do have a spread on my table right now that is really helping to bring this message forward, because this is a dense, heavy message. The message is really, in a nutshell, why are people so committed to misunderstanding us? Why are people so consistently committed to seeing us in a different light than is plain to see? Emperor, Ten of Pentacles, Death card, Fool energy. I mean, it takes a lot of chutzpah to be an Emperor, Fool card, Death card, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. I mean, this takes a lot of courage. This is taking risk after risk after risk when other people would have just kind of settled down by now and just kind of lived a normal life. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying no judgment here. Everybody has the right to live the life that they want to live. Absolutely, 100% of the time. No argument there. But what I do want to bring up today is why does it feel like we are lost in translation? Why is it that when we are presenting in our true, authentic selves, and today we're coming through as the Emperor, and rock onto that because we've been coming through as the Empress in the past episodes. Now we're coming through as the Emperor. Yeah, I feel point number one. My first original point was on this Three of Swords, which is the fact that even if we heal from the fact that we care what people think and all that, it still is a wound psychologically because it's almost like a gaslighting energy where it's like you're literally sitting here as the Emperor, and for some of you, you have like money, you have assets, you have achievements. I mean, Ten of Pentacles Emperor, abso-fucking-lutely, excuse my French. So it's a blatant disrespect, and it's kind of like a I don't really see what you're presenting here. I didn't know my voice could go that low. I need a sip of coffee. Brief intermission. Buy my merch, by the way, and I'm going to have these pink Metamystic shirts up on my shop. If you're interested in supporting the show, thank you, everyone. It has taken everything in us to get here, who I'm speaking to today. It has taken us everything to get here. Seven of Pentacles, we have had to change directions again and again and again and build things up and try things again and move things around and make sure we keep our emotions stable through the whole thing with the King of Cups. And we've grown and we've changed and we've evolved. And that's why with the Five of Cups, that's kind of what I was trying to say with the Three of Swords, Five of Cups. I'm not saying that we're not mature right now. I'm saying we are mature, but it still does affect us. Even if we continue to move forward, three cards, even if we continue to move forward and don't let these people get in our heads, it is like an intellectual blow to the head, man. It's like a nagging voice in the back of our minds. Like, I have had people texting me, messaging me on Facebook. I haven't used Facebook in like years. Literally just committed to misunderstanding me and my mission on this planet, right? Because it's really not a joke. Nine of Pentacles. See, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Three of freaking Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. I feel like there's a couple things happening here when people are misunderstanding us. First of all, it's obvious who you are. You're coming through in our original spread here as the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles, right? But let's actually quote unquote regress a little bit. And I'm not saying regression in a bad way. I mean, past life regression. I'm not sure because I use the word regression. even if you don't have like a bunch of money and a flourishing business and whatever, this message is literally for everybody because we have the 9 of Pentacles. So even if you don't identify with that Emperor, like, again, it could be argued though that the Emperor is an energy, even if you don't have a lot of money, which I don't right now, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Why the hell not? Why would I lie? You know what I mean? It's like I've had money and I've not had money. I've had investments and I've not had investments. I've had a flourishing business and I've not had a flourishing business. I've just whatever. You know what I mean? 9 of Pentacles. I'm going to talk from 9 of Pentacles right now. 9 of Pentacles is no matter what, you are good. With or without people, and I don't mean it in like a single energy sort of a way. Even if you are with someone, right? You could be with somebody with the 9 of Pentacles, in my opinion. You're just the type of person that no matter what happens to you, you always come out, honestly, better than before. Because you're a transmuter. You're an alchemist. You're a magician. You're an emperor. But even if you aren't to that emperor status yet in your life, you're on your damn way. With the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, oh yeah, you're on your way. With the 3 of Pentacles, oh yeah, you're building this. You're on your way. And it's not just about money, guys. I'm saying this is an energy. This is a status thing. This is 10th house, Capricorn sort of stuff. Like this is, I mean, Aries, 1st house. This is just the ego, the self. You can be an emperor sitting in your sweatpants watching freaking Discovery Channel. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like a CEO, like at work, like I'm the emperor. It's like you could literally just be like chilling on your couch, but your energy is emperor, right? So this message is for everybody. 9 of Pentacles, Emperor, wherever you are on the spectrum, doesn't really matter because you're coming out in the energy of someone that will eventually become this. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a trajectory. I got out one of my books last night that I haven't looked at in a little while. It's a very boring analytical book that you guys would probably not be interested in if I'm really honest with you. But it's boring, but it's technical analysis, and I've been getting back into like brushing up my skills on reading charts in the stock market because I'm trying to get back on my bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting back to, studying candles and patterns and all these things. And something that I took away from the book last night is he was saying, and this is a statement. It's not always true every single time, but for the most part, if a stock is going up like this, right? Or even if it's kind of like this and it's just slightly going up, the only way it's going to stop going up, and this is my point with 9 of Pentacles to Emperor, that you'll eventually become the Emperor because of your energy. Your energy is always on the up and up. It's on the trajectory. It's on an uptrend, to use a stock market term. You're on an uptrend in your energy, even if you don't have money. It's not about money. It's about energy. And it's an energy of also trust in the universe, which is more of an Empress energy, which we've talked about. And 9 of Pentacles is pre-Empress. So it's about trusting the universe that you will always be okay no matter what happens, even if you don't have any money and you lose everything and you have to start all over again with the Fool and try something else again. You have to transform again with the Death card and blah, 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 blah. No matter what, this is my point with the uptrend, you will continue going up. You'll go from the 9 of Pentacles to the Empress or the Emperor, depending. You will continue in that trajectory unless, and this is my point, unless something comes in and hits that. And that is why I am making this episode today. Because even if we are mature, even if we're like, well, I don't care what people think of me, I'm going to continue on my way. Even if we are confident, even if we are good, 9 of Pentacles is like, I'm good. I'm confident. I'm who I am. I'm an authentic person, even if people don't understand me and they're committed to misunderstanding me. It's life. It's part of life. I'm not gonna stay awake at night about all that. You might not be, but somebody else may be. Why? Because you bring up something in them that is mirroring. Where's my mirror? That is mirroring to them the fact that they are not living in their authenticity. And just to be clear, if you happen to be listening, the person that sent me that text, in all complete love in my heart, I am not making fun of you. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just saying, I have tried for years to explain and over-explain myself to the point of feeling like I was a freaking fool sitting around those holiday tables with you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I was a freaking loser year after year. And maybe you didn't mean that in your heart. Maybe you didn't mean that in your heart. But I'm also not going to say that you didn't mean it. And this is my point. Now I'm going to pull out from that perspective and talk more to my querent, the people that I'm interested in speaking to on the other end of the spectrum. Even if people didn't mean it, this is the thing. You trigger people because you're a mirror. These people could be up at night because you challenge their perception of reality, whether they want to admit that to themselves or not. It's kind of like, say a UFO lands right in front of my Christian family and an alien walks out, looks them right in the eye and says, "Hello, hi. I am an alien from a faraway planet, and I have come here to reveal that the Christian religion is not as it seems, that there are other life forms out there, and I'm here in front of your eyes to prove that fact to you with your own eyes. You can film me, you can take a picture of me, I will go on the news and speak about this." I mean, a couple years ago, NASA actually had some weird meeting with leaders of different religions to quote unquote prepare society for alien intelligence. But anyways, my point was saying that is it's like, this is the thing. That scenario could happen. And these people that aren't committed to misunderstanding you, lost in translation. "I just don't understand you, Missy. Oh, I just don't understand why you're acting like this." It's like these people, Six of Cups from our past, friends, lovers, family. An alien could stand right in front of these people, I'm using Christians as an example, and say, "Hello, your faith is essentially the way you're believing it, different than you expected it to be." And they will literally look that alien right in the eye with a complete smile on their face and just say, "No, thank you. No, thank you." Because that is a challenge. I'm surprised I don't have the Hierophant here. We're going to get card number 1 because he may come out. It's a challenge to traditional beliefs. I'm just using the Christianity alien thing as an example because I think it's funny. It's like people don't, even if it's right in front of their face, they're seeing you. They're seeing you literally sitting here, owning your own business. Maybe you have a, $245,000 stock portfolio. You have a big house. You have a nice car. You have a beautiful family, 10 of Pentacles. Just, again, it doesn't have to be money. I'm just saying, it's like I'm being obvious. I'm being so obvious with it that it's like, you'd have to be an imbecile, love and light, to misunderstand you and think that you didn't know what you were talking about. It's like the proof is obvious, is my point, in who you are. Why do people live in denial about you and then also try to gaslight you out of your powerful reality? Because it's 9 of Swords for them. It's 9 of Pentacles for you. But everyone can be 9 of Pentacles, but you can't force somebody to be 9 of Pentacles. You can't force somebody to leave their paradigm. You can't force somebody to transform. You can't force somebody to do the hard inner work, 3 of Pentacles that you've done, to heal, 3 of Swords, 6 of Cups, ancient wounds for some of us. It's like we have done this work, and if others have not, that is going to be a direct challenge to their ideology of this planet, of themselves, of even their own upbringing. You know, it could be triggering things in people where it's like, well, Missy's saying that was narcissistic abuse. Oh my God, that same thing actually happened to me, and I didn't really look at it that way. I guess I did kind of feel like I was all alone in the world. And I guess I did kind of feel like, oh my God, even when I go to bed at night, it's like I feel like my breathing's getting a little bit fast just thinking about my childhood. It's like, yeah, you know, that's what I've been trying to tell you guys for years. Whatever, I don't have to go on that spiel today. You guys know. You guys know that what I'm saying. All right, card number 1 is the 9 of Wands. Another 9. 9, 9, 9. Right? It's like 99.9%. Like, you couldn't be any more obvious, is how I'm seeing that right now. It's like they are seeing you in plain view. Maybe that 0.1%, it's a little blurry, but lost in translation, this is who you've always been. 99.9% who you are, even when people made fun of you, put you down, said you were a fool, said you were a weirdo or a loser or were never going to amount to anything. I was told, I remember that, and it stuck with me for years, and it put, again, an intellectual wound. Even though I kept going and I just kept brainwashing myself that this wasn't true, this person put into my brain, they said, how are you ever going to have your own apartment? Like, how are you ever going to support yourself? How are you ever... Since that time, I lived in 2 different places. I was able to support myself, 9 of Pentacles, and now I'm living in a home with a mortgage, right? And before that, I had my own ministry, and I had tens of thousands of dollars of investments, and maybe it's not a lot for some people, but for me at that time, that was a lot of money. I was doing well for myself, right? And so it's not even out of a revenge thing. It's just, it simply wasn't accurate what they were saying to me. And in their paradigm, and this is why we can't fully blame people, and this is why we are mature and we don't let people stop our lives and stuff, and we just choose to keep going. 9 of Wands, even if we are a wounded warrior and we feel misunderstood and we feel like nobody understands us and nobody supports us, it's like you're coming out with these boss ass ideas and like evidence to prove that it's true as well, and people are continuing. This is a message for who I'm talking to. Again, if this is not your story, it is not your story, right? You continue to push through regardless with the 9 of Wands is my point, right? And that's really what this message is. It's like, even though they were putting you, whoever these people are to you, it could even be your own damn self for all I care, because it's society. Society is like, oh, wow, it's risky to be an entrepreneur. No shit, Sherlock. Of course it's freaking risky to be an entrepreneur. And people might call you a fool, but you're the fool, right? You're the main freaking character. You're the one that's going to pull off something extraordinary that nobody else can do. Maybe they couldn't do it. So for them, it is true that they couldn't pull that off. It would have been better for you to go to college and become a doctor, or become a speech pathologist, or become whatever, right? Would have been maybe, but that was their story, not yours, right? And so, love and light to all, they made me feel, personal anecdote, like this, 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, pretty much my entire childhood, 6 of Cups, and it was all a lie. But to them, it wasn't a lie. That's why it gets complicated, because in their paradigm, 1:44 p.m. on the clock right now, which is a number of the chosen ones, right? I'm not saying everybody's not chosen, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, you have a different perspective than other people have. And for them, yeah, it might not work. Love and light, it might not work. But for you, if you had that seed in your heart, especially from when you were a child, that you could be an entrepreneur, that you could be someone, whatever, it doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. I'm just using that as an example because we have all these pentacles and the Emperor and stuff, 9 of Pentacles and everything. Doesn't have to be that. It could be anything. It's like you had this dream, this seed, Ace of Pentacles, implanted in you probably from the time you were born on this planet, right? So for you, it's obvious, right? It's always been obvious, and you've always been the odd duck because of that. But you pursued your position anyway, even when everyone in your circle, or a couple people, or even one person, or even your own self was like, wow, you're kind of crazy for that. This is what happens when we don't give up. This is what happens when we push through no matter what. But the reason I'm making this episode today is because even if you are established and you've done a lot of great things in your life and you have a lot to offer, that doesn't mean that it's not still an intellectual wound kind of pulsating in the back of the mind when you're getting up to give your presentation, or you are doing whatever emperor stuff you're doing, right? It's like that could be kind of, you have that voice in the back of your mind that you're not good enough. Or who do you think you are? You're not fooling anyone, because I knew you back then. I knew you when you were kind of like a loser, man. And it's like, let's stop on that. Let's stop right on that point. Why would anyone ever look at you that way? Again, it's the mirror. And this is the complicated part. I'm not saying that they're looking at you thinking that they're a loser. Possibly, that could be. People project onto us. But projection is different than mirroring. Projection is when somebody feels like a loser and they see you doing well and they're jealous. So they're like, you're actually a loser. I'm not the loser. You're the loser. That's projection. Mirroring is different. What mirroring does is they're looking at you, and what it's mirroring back to them is everything that they were not brave enough to be, right? And it could be subconscious, 9 of Swords. It could be like I was saying before, you had a seed within you all these years that has been growing and causing transformations and causing you to take risks and things like this that have made you the person you are today, right? So for them, yes, they probably couldn't have achieved what you've achieved, or even a percentage of it. So for them, that narrative was true. But this is the challenging part of this, is that when people are looking at you, it's easier for them, lost in translation, you know, why people don't understand you, is because it's better for them to leave you in kind of this foggy zone where it's like 99.9% clear that you are who you are and what you say is true and that you have evidence to back it up and that your work is 3 of Pentacles, very good work, and you've taken many risks and you've achieved many things. It's like, it's clear as day. So why are they committed to misunderstanding you? Because it's easier. right? It's always been easier. You are the fly in the ointment of their reality. Oh, well, I don't think that about you. You don't bother me much. I'm just coming in to tell you, my dear, everything that you are wrong about. In fact, I'm coming in to help you, to educate you, in fact. All the things that you stand for, that you believe, are simply a farce. So it's pride, but on a subconscious level, it's fear. You cause fear in the hearts of the people who never dared to live the life that you have chosen to live. Card number 2 is the world. It almost brings tears to my eyes because this is like the wrap up, bro. This is the achievement of achievements, the Fool to the world. And it's just like, and you ran around the entire world. Like sometimes with the world, it's like, I picture the Fool. I picture the Fool. This is the close-up of the Fool. This is us. And then it's like it zooms out onto the globe. You see the entire Earth from a space perspective. And it's like the Fool is just running around at a fast hyper speed around the entire globe. It's like the world is the most obvious achievement that anybody could possibly see. But I just don't really quite see it. I just don't really see what all the fuss is about. In fact, I actually blatantly disagree with it, and I'm going to make sure to make that public information and post that all over people's social. I'm just being an asshole. I'm just saying this is what's happened to me. Post it all over people's social media and message them and text them and go on and find all of their platforms and make a point to publicly point out the fact that they are still the ant under my shoe that I made them feel when they were a child. It's like, why are people going through such great lengths, is my question, to bring you down a peg? If you were an ant under their shoe, then why are they spending hours hyper-analyzing an episode of your podcast that is a past I'm saying it, this is me, this is a personal example for me. That iteration of my podcast, on my Metamystic Show channel that I don't even use anymore, that was like the first run of my show that I did at like a year or two ago now. I'm not even that same person. So I have a person that is hyper analyzing and texting me points about my podcast episode, telling me, oh, you're still a Christian, you still talk about Jesus, so therefore you're still a Christian and what you're saying is not true. Trying to gaslight me out of my perspective. Because this is why these people do this. It scares them. And that is why I do have compassion. Even after everything they made me feel, they literally wanted to make me end my life, but I still have compassion. Why? Because I understand it from a bird's eye view with this world energy here. You understand it as well. And that's why you're here listening to this, because you understand, because you're this world energy, right? It's a matter of these people, they will do anything they can to grasp onto their own perception of reality. It's not about you. And this is the hard truth. It's like, oh, nobody loves me, nobody understands me. It's not even about you, honey. Well, they're sure making it seem like it's about me. It's about them. It's about them. Even if they're coming at you like, oh, here's all the things that, here, whatever. I already gave my example. I don't believe in disrespect. I don't believe in especially disrespecting my family. So I'm just simply using my platform as a teaching tool and an opportunity to, in the best way I know how, still exert my authority and hold my position, but at the same time, use this as an opportunity to transmute a situation that has been deeply troubling to me since I was a child, and it has repeated and repeated and repeated. 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, even when I was successful, 9 of Pentacles. Who's in the back of my mind talking? Who's in the back of my mind telling me that everything I'm doing is wrong and that everything I say is wrong? Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say it like that. You didn't have to. It's your energy. You've always belittled me. You've always made me feel bad about myself, and that's because they feel belittled and they felt bad about themselves. I've tried to explain to you that you also came from narcissistic abuse, but you won't listen to that. You don't want to look at that. You don't want to do that healing work because that would mean that would mess up the paradigm in your brain of all those Christmases that we spent together, that actually it was a lot of abuse involved. And I understand not wanting to look at that. I understand. I didn't want to look at that for many years either, but here we are. Right? Here we are. Well, Missy, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. You broke mine 1,000 times and sat around the table and laughed about it. Oh, we never did that. We never did anything like that at all. We never did that. You made fun of me when I was learning the stock market. You scoffed at me. You laughed at me. You made fun of me. It's like, whatever. Just whatever. Oh, she could never do something like that because she doesn't have a college degree. Oh, it's like, how many people are multi-mother effing millionaires that don't have a college degree? All right? Just suck my cock. That's what I have to... with the Emperor, respectively. All right? If you want a little bit of a more graceful energy, you can watch my episodes where I'm channeling the Empress. But this is the reality. With the World card, I got both, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on what situation calls for which. You know what I mean? Card number 3 is the 5 of Pentacles. This is what makes them comfortable. Well, I would never believe that. You think that you're so high and mighty that I would care about the likes of you? Or that you would... It's like... Do not waste your life trying to prove to people your worth and your value. All it's going to do is make them hate you more. Because all it's doing is reflecting back to them everything that, number one, that they actually hate about themselves, whether it's conscious or subconscious. Number 2, it's like the more you try to get people to like respect you and love you and see your point, and it's like, I'm somebody who has struggled with over-explaining, and that's a trauma response. It's like you say something, it should just be like you say something and that's it. Emperor, silence after that. I said what I said. And that's a lesson I've learned over the past few years. I said what I said. And you just sit back in your chair and you just leave it silent. But something that I used to struggle with for many, many years, 5 of Pentacles, is over-explaining, and then I'd bring out my laptop, and then I'd explain, and then I'd prove to them, well, let me show you how to read charts, let me show you my investment portfolio, let me show you that I'm successful, 9 of Pentacles, let me show you that I'm worthy to be loved, let me show you all the transformations that I've been through, Death card, let me show you all the quality work that I've done, 3 of Pentacles, let me show you, let me even show you the people that support me, and the people that see me, and all the comments that I get of people that saying that my music is good and that I changed their life through my messages. And it's like, it doesn't freaking matter. You could be on the front page. You could be on, you could be one of the richest people in the world, Emperor, 10 of Pentacles, with a successful business. You could be the top model, the most gorgeous person that everybody lusts over, and these people will look at you and treat you like you are trash and cheat on you and leave you by the side of the fucking road. 3 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Why? You know what I want to say? Just because. Just because. Oh, we don't see you. 99.9% clear. Oh, this is BU. That's what this is today. This is a gold coin. This is brilliant uncirculated. This is BU quality today. I used to buy gold. I used to have gold coins and I had to sell them all. You are BU, brilliant uncirculated. You are the clearest, highest quality gold that can be purchased. Go on APMEX right now, APMEX.com. Look at the gold coins on there. You know, American Gold Eagles are the most common, and people are like, "Oh, don't buy those! Don't buy those! It's a waste of money." And I don't blame you for thinking that, but if you want to, just random advice, if you do want to resell those gold coins though, to like anybody, even if it's a pawn shop, they're going to want the American Gold Eagles. So if you are going to invest in gold, I would say go for that, even though, yes, you are paying like a higher price for it. But anyways, it's like, see, that's an example. That's an over explanation. It's like, well, prove to me that you know about gold coins. And I literally have, like, the paperwork. I had my stack of gold coins. It's like, it doesn't matter, Missy, is what I'm saying to myself and what I'm saying to you. It doesn't effing matter. If you come in to Christmas Day with an entire roll of gold coins in your tube, and you're explaining to everybody what BU means, and you're helping everybody understand, oh, it's the difference between Australian gold coins and this and that, blah, 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 and this is how you read charts, and this is all the money that I made off of that in the past quarter, and this is blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. They're still gonna treat you like shit. 5 of Pentacles. And I'm sorry. I don't know why Spirit has me do this, to be honest with you guys, because sometimes I'm like, Spirit, am I just like, what is this podcast? Because for the people that know me, when you hang out with me, I joke. I'm kind of just like, and half the time I'm a Taurus moon. I kind of just like to chill. I like to eat. I like to hang out. I'm not like this all the time. So the fact that this fire and brimstone emperor stuff, to be honest with you, Aries energy, comes out on these episodes, and I can't even believe that it does in the way that it does, is because I'm angry for us. Because I am one of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have dealt with this same story. Just with different faces, different names, different 6 of Cups. We might as well all be the same person in this episode. And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not saying these people are bad people. I'm actually saying the opposite. It's not that they're bad people. I don't think they even know what they're doing. I don't even think that they would understand that they made you want to end your freaking life, 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords all those years. I don't think they'd even comprehend that they had that much authority because they don't see themselves that way. Or if they do, it's an inflated sense of pride to where, you know, when you're actually faced with something real, it's like those are the people that go and hide in the corner. This is the reality. People are more comfortable with you being in the 5 of Pentacles than they are with you being in the 10 of Pentacles. And this does not have to be financial, guys. Like I said, this is an energy of abundance. This is the flowing stream of water. We talk about the Empress, right? You make people uncomfortable. That's why you're lost in translation. They don't want to look at that and what that could possibly mean because they put you down all those years. They said you were a fool all those years. And actually, they were right. You were a fool. You were the fool. You were taking risks that no one was willing to take, that people thought you were crazy for, that people thought you were actually kind of dumb. You kind of didn't know what you were talking about. They were kind of laughing at you and stuff. And yeah, it broke your heart, but you continued forward anyway. 9 of Wands. You're my people. Right? In conclusion, why do people misunderstand you? All the reasons that we talked about today. Just because. That's really as deep as they're going to get with that shadow work, I feel. And maybe some people will surprise me, and I hope for that. Right? I really do hope for that. I'm not being an asshole. I love my family. I'm a Taurus moon. I stand for people even if they burn me at the freaking stake. And I'll be burning and with a tear coming down my cheek, still saying I love you, probably in another language because it's a past life memory that I have. All right. I'm going to close on that. I love you guys so much. It's been Missy Gordon, the Meta Mystic here, and I'll see you on the next one.